Yo, this is Deontay the Bronx Bummer Wild, the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. And I'd like to give a big shout out to CJ Goodfellow, Sports TV. Bomb Squad, baby.
Belief about
No, I'm on the phone.
You on the phone?
Yeah.
You looking at my baby?
No, I ain't looking at him. No, I'm good.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, man. Next time we come outside, don't be staring and shit like that. I don't like that.
I wasn't looking at him.
Now, if you don't know, WBC basically saying they announced a tournament, unofficial tournament, where Andy Ruiz, Luis Ortiz winner would take on the Robert Lanius, Deontay Wilder winner, which obviously we know Andy Ruiz won, and hoping that Wilder pulled through versus Lanius will produce the next mandatory for Tyson Fury. Now, Tyson Fury, by the way, is trying to fight Anthony Joshua in December because Usyk said he got some injuries, previous injuries he want to heal for, and Usyk said he don't want to come back till February, right? And what's the difference weight from December, January, and February for Tyson Fury? Make a lot of sense. Let Anthony Joshua, get in the win, call him, do what he gonna do, beat Usyk. If you gotta do it again, get Anthony Joshua more time to look good in the public eye, then turn around and fight Anthony Joshua and retire. But my thing is, if Tyson Fury said he got bored with retirement, if Tyson Fury gonna be sticking around, and still gonna hold and defend the WBC belt, obviously you probably defend undisputed once and then he move on from it. Maybe, I think he holds the WBC. He's already said he wouldn't mind fighting Wilder again because the money is good, right? Should, they let Deontay Wilder go through with the fight. We know Wilder a dog. We know Wilder a savage. But, if I'm taking care of Wilder, if I'm Malik Scott, if I'm Don House, if I'm his father, if I'm his mother, if I'm his brother, whoever around there, nah, man, we don't need to do that no more. And it's not to the fact that I don't think he can whoop him. You know what I'm saying? It's just to the fact that, the weight is just astronomical. And Tyson Fury, the way he trained, he shows you that you can pack on weight and still have conditioning. Now, the thing about putting that weight on his body and still being conditioned, they say he's a cardio freak, but the downside to that is all that weight on his joints. When you that tall and you that big, you already susceptible to foot problems, and joint problems, right? So when you continue to train, and I seen him running on concrete in Vegas, you do all those things, his joints are gonna be all messed up. No matter how much cardio he do, him carrying around that amount of weight is not going to be good for his joints, and it's going to make him more susceptible, especially to those lower body injuries, because that's what's carrying all the weight. All right? That's the downside to it. But as long as his joints and his foot and all that shit hold up, and, he tell you can weigh 300 pounds. It's hard. You can weigh 280 and run 2, 3, 4 miles. The mind puts it in people's head that you can't do that, but you can. All running miles is just first and foremost is mental conditioning. Then it's physical conditioning. One thing about running distance, I mean, even sprinting, it's mental. I watched like a Jamaican movie about sprinting. Usain Bolt was kind of like guest starring in there and telling the kid about how he ran. He, ran his, how he thought about running this, that, and third. How mental. It's all mental. After a while, you get to running and, your quads kind of give out, or you might feel it in your chest, your knee. But after a while, you keep going there. You don't feel that shit no more. Until you keep going deeper in there. But I just think that'll be the only thing that stops him. Will just be father time and then all that weight on them joints. He put on the weight so he could take the punch. You heard Andy Ruiz. He said this past weekend, if he came in at 250 something for Luis Ortiz, he would have got dropped. And how close them scorecards was, if Ortiz dropped him once or twice, man, we probably looking at Ortiz winning that fight or it being a draw. So, like I said before. It ain't that, it ain't that Wilder, scared or nothing like that. But at the end of the day, this dude is able to pack on weight to take Wilder punch, and still Wilder putting him down. Wilder, this the one fighter that Wilder needed to have a repertoire of, or a repertoire or a bunch of, or something in his arsenal. other than just the right hand. You know what I'm saying? You know, utilizing angles, throwing jabs, check hook. You know what I'm saying? You know, drop. You know, turning. You know, shooting the jab like that overhand right that Marciano used to throw, or dropping it to the body. This is one of the dudes that they should have left his ass retired. Real talk. Nobody else in this division standing up to that right hand. It ain't the power that make the right hand so special for Deontay Wilder. It's the torso snap and the velocity at what that right hand come from. It's like a dog bite. You know, Terrence Crawford kind of got the same gift. They kind of snap from the torso. That's kind of where they power come from. Obviously, Crawford being a smaller guy, he's just gonna be naturally more skilled, but they snap from the torso. That's where they torque. They power is like a torque wrench, like a ratchet. You know, but Deontay Wilder, you know, had he developed slipping and pivoting and walking the jab and walking backwards and not pulling back with his chin up, and had he developed some just the basic fundamentals, Tyson Fury couldn't do nothing with him. Had he developed how to, you know, shoot the jab to the solar plexus or drop the jab to the body, you know, and he struggled. Like, it wasn't just the weight where Fury can take the punch. That's the big thing about it, and Fury has the determination and heart. But the other thing about it was that Deontay Wilder struggles with guys that's as tall as him or taller. So when you looking as a matchmaker, they probably thought we bring this fat bum off the couch and we can get him. And nah, you know, his father's not gonna let Tyson Fury go into John Fury gonna not let Tyson Fury go into a fight with a fucking a butter knife and Deontay Wilder got a 12 gauge. He's not gonna let that happen. You know, Tyson Fury's getting in the ring with Deontay Wilder. He knew he was gonna win, and they should have just thought about the eagerness and the ability to take him taking that fight, and they should have thought twice about it. You know, they could blame the count and all that stuff, but this dude got heart. It's not just the weight. It's not just Wilder's lack of skills and all that, but it's his heart and his determination. He don't need to fight him again. I'm sorry. He don't need to go through that physical damage. He got you 2 times. You got a draw. And a lot of people mind like mine. He got you 3 times. You don't got nothing else to prove. He go out there and beat Usyk. I mean, you know, what is there to prove? Now, if he go lose to Usyk, then, then you probably go look at fighting Usyk. But it show you, like, you know, Joe Frazier gave Muhammad Ali a bunch of problems. George Foreman destroyed Joe Frazier, I believe, twice. You know what I'm saying? Joe Frazier was tailor-made for Joe Frazier. I mean, Joe Frazier was tailor-made for George Foreman. You know, but Muhammad Ali beat George Foreman and struggled with Joe Frazier. It could be the same thing here. Deontay Wilder probably can beat Joshua, beat White, beat Joyce, beat a lot of other guys, the boys and those type of guys. But he just can't beat Tyson Fury, and that's fine. I mean, people can't whoop Muhammad Ali in his, like, we never seen the prime Muhammad Ali. It's the crazy shit about it. Couldn't nobody whoop prime Larry Holmes. They had to take it from him. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't nobody really whoop prime Muhammad Ali, prime Roy Jones Jr. It don't mean that it can't be somebody like when Roy Jones was reigning supreme at his peak. Mayweather was the next one that took that torch, that took the baton away from Roy Jones. You know what I'm saying? It don't mean that it can't be somebody else just because you can't beat the Uno. It don't mean like, Pernell Whitaker, Shane Mo. A lot of them dudes was doing everything at the same time, bro. Think about that. Sugar Ray Leonard. I mean, Marvin Hagler was one of the dudes that he was the boogeyman that persevered and became commercial and syndicated and became celebrated and got his flower. That's an anomaly. I talked about that earlier. That didn't happen. That don't happen too much no more. Where you the boogeyman and you eventually just keep grinding and you get your flower. So, I mean, you can't beat Tyson Fury. I mean, shit. Guess what? Could you beat the next best guy? I mean, just in thinking about you know, in the grand scheme of things, Vladimir Klitschko hit like a fucking mule. But if Deontay Wilder took Vladimir Klitschko's chin, a lot of us agree that he go to sleep. If Vladimir touched Wilder, I think most of us agree that Wilder has shown the ability to take a shot and keep going more than Vladimir Klitschko did at some points in his career. You know? So it ain't no shame in Deontay Wilder. He still will be celebrated in a generation of boxing where she filled the void. The Klitschko's wish they had Deontay Wilder at his peak to make money and be celebrated in America. They didn't have a dancing partner. They wish they had that. So, you know, Anthony Joshua not taking advantage of Deontay Wilder and unlocking America, he left a lot of pesos and a lot of dollar signs, a lot of pounds, a lot of euros on the table. When he left on the table, Tyson Fury came up and ran with the money bags. But no, I wouldn't put Deontay Wilder back in the ring with Tyson Fury. It's just at the end of the day, it's just so much other greater things you got to do in the sport of boxing. If that's going to cruiserweight, if that's going to bridgerweight, if that's fighting Usyk, if that's fighting for other belts, if that's fighting the boys, Big Baby Anderson, if it's selling a grudge match with Jarrell, Big Baby Miller, off some things he said, no matter what it is, it's Anthony Joshua, if it's whoever it may be. He got greater things to conquer as well, too, and still make a lot of money. If it's Andy Ruiz, if it's fighting for the PBC belt, IBF, WBA, whatever, WBO, there's still other things out there to do for him. So it just don't make no sense for him to get back in the ring and go through that trauma again. But hey, check out the Heavyweight Boxing Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button, it's the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live, drop video. Financially, you want to support the channel, Cash App, $ CJ Good 313, Venmo, CJ Good 313, PayPal link inscription. Hit the link tree, find me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Radio Public, the whole nine. Let me know what you girls guys think in the comment section. One time for the one time. Goodfella TV. Peace.